Hey, what's up, everybody? Frank here, and today I want to talk about something that's rarely ever discussed when it comes to digital marketing, and that is your return on your marketing investment, or your being able to project your revenue based off of different digital marketing actions, initiatives, campaigns, things like that. Now, what you're seeing in front of you is a spreadsheet that I developed, and I put it together because I honestly got really sick and tired of people saying, well, it's so nebulous, you can't really measure my revenue or my increase in business, especially when it comes to social media marketing. And my argument was, yes, you can measure that. And a lot of times agencies are not measuring it, in my opinion, because they're either too lazy to do it, or they just don't know how to do it, or they really don't care about are we giving you a positive return on your marketing investment. So few things you need to know in order to figure this out, and that is your customer lifetime value. So if it's a one-off sale, the goal is to eventually in the future upsell them, okay? And you should have a good idea of how much one customer is worth to you. Now, you notice I did not say one sale, I said one customer. So I could call that customer lifetime value. What we're looking at is a practice where it's a patient, okay? And we were able to find out that an annualized lifetime value of one patient is about $1,100. That's really depending on how long they're going for therapy or treatment or anything like that. So that's the number that was given to us. The second thing you need to know is your conversion rates. Out of everybody that calls you, visits your office, however they're driven to you, how many of those people do you actually close? Okay, so if 100 people are driven to you and you close 5, you have a 5% closing rate. That's super important. Now, what you're looking at is this is based off of Google My Business, and this is actually transferable to even social media. The difference is what we're looking at here is actual data taken from Google My Business. Those are discovery searches, search views, map views. And according to Google, as of 2018, it was about a 5% conversion rate. It may be a little bit higher. And then you have different conversion rates for maps, for phone calls, directions, and website clicks. All right, so those are 3 different actions. Right now, we're just going to be based off of a 5% conversion rate for discovery, search views, and map views. Now that we know that there's a 5% closing rate, so that's kind of one that I just made up. All right, so we have a closing rate of 5%. So that means everybody that is driven to take an action, to go to their website or pick up the phone and call them, they're going to close about 5% of those people. Okay, so let's go through the numbers. Right now, you see we have 3,101 discovery searches, 7,831 search views, and 1,515 map views. Really simple. You see right here the conversion rate for discovery, about 2.35%. Conversion rate for search views, 5%, and map views is also at 5%. I looked these numbers up. It took a while to actually find those conversion rates, but I found them. That's what they are. So you simply are going to multiply this number by 2.35% and come up with 73 people. All right, so 73 people should go to your website or pick up the phone or call you based off of those conversion rates. Do the same thing with search views and with map views. So I came up with 72, 392 if you want to round up, 76 if you want to round up. Very simple. You multiply that times $1,100. That's the customer lifetime value, LTV, and you come up with these numbers right here: 80,000, 430,000, 83,325 dollars. Now, you see right here, we actually asked the owner, okay, so when someone refers a patient to you, what's your conversion rate on that? And they said, well, that's about 50% conversion rate for those. We're not going to worry about referral conversion rates right now. We're just going to go off of discovery, search views, and map views. So very simple. I multiplied 80,000 times a closing rate of 5% and came up with $4,000, $21,000, and $4,200 roughly. Okay, so when you look at gross revenue that comes in, that should be the gross revenue if they are closing 5% of the people who reach out to them. Now, there is going to be some variability there because maybe some people just aren't going to reach out to you. They may find you, but they're not going to reach out to you. And my feeling about that is a lot of businesses tend to ignore Google My Business when Google itself says that when companies are posting regularly photos, behind the scenes, information on their Google My Business profile, it actually results in higher conversion rates. But most people are only looking at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the popular things. They're really not even thinking about Google My Business. So I say you need to get on Google My Business and start doing that to increase your conversion rates. Okay? So we come up with these numbers right here. Now, something else that we also like to figure in to our clients is actually your SEO potential. And you can see that down here. So based on current rankings for certain keywords, there's an expected number of traffic that can be driven to your website. Okay? And based off your conversion rate of that traffic and now your closing rate, you should be able to figure out, okay, based on my current Google rankings, this is how many people should be reaching out or going to my website, and I should be closing X amount of that. When I close X amount of that, each one of those clients, patients, etc., are going to be worth $1,100. Okay, so we actually plug in the numbers into our software. I don't know what number we actually put in for this value, but as you can see here, they convert about 1 per 200 visits. So I believe that's 5.5% closing rate. All right, and you have your expected traffic from Google, Google Mobile, and then Google from another location. And this is your expected traffic. This is your expected income based on your rankings and expected traffic based on those rankings. And this should be your expected income, $35,600. Now, what's really nice is the software that we use will estimate if you were actually paying for Google Ads to get those placements and to get that expected traffic. So for somebody, if they were going to pay for their current rankings, be on the first page or whatever, this would be their cost, $484,000, which is, for me, I'm not a big proponent of paying. I would rather you get organic search results, okay, because number one, you're saving money, and I like to save money. But this is another thing. So now we put together all these numbers, and we can basically tell the client, hey, look, this is your expected income. Okay, now what happens is a lot of times companies will say, well, I'm not seeing the sales coming in and blah, 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 blah. Well, that is not a function, and you may want to argue with me, that's not a function of your marketing. If your digital marketing is increasing your traffic, whether it's through organic, search engine results, whether it's through email campaigns, whether it's through social media, if you're looking at your Google Analytics and you know that when you compare 3 months data compared to previous 3 months data, and you've seen an uptick of X amount %, and that's how additional traffic going to your website, and you know that they have a closing rate of 5%, they should be closing that. And if they're not closing that, then there's a problem in their sales process. Okay, either their closing rate is lower than that, or they really need to look at, okay, what's happening on the other side of the phone when people are calling in, or what's happening with our CRM. We're reaching out to people. We have this great C2OR, which is click to open rate, which to me is the most valuable metric for email marketing. It's not your open rate. Your open rate is really good. Oh, wow, great. Everybody's opening my email, but if nobody's clicking on your call to action, that doesn't do crap for you. So you need to have a good CTOR, click to open rate. Let's say that's, not good. Well, then you need to maybe look at the quality of your content, social media or email, or your call to action. You're not presenting some type of value. So there's a lot of things, and this is how we have always proven our worth, because we actually calculate the numbers, and then if the client is not seeing those numbers on their end and they're not closing, that tells us, okay, we need to look somewhere else. There's a break in the process. There's a bottleneck somewhere. Okay, so I want to let you know, I wanted to share this with you. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I do dive a lot further into it. So if you can see over here, I've done website actions, directions actions, phone calls for all locations, conversion rates, projected revenue, and then I annualize it out, and then I add in additional revenue with 50% referrals. And then we can actually, here when you have investment gain based on what they're paying you, okay, how much they should actually be making. Now, you can see right here, annualized ROI, 350%. That's kind of telling me it's a half a year investment lens. So this is based off of 6 months of data. We might be charging a little bit too low. So anyway, a lot of good things here, but it always boils down to the numbers. Always boils down to the numbers. Okay, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to discuss this with you. Or if you want an agency that actually understands the numbers and can help you make sense out of marketing and sales and kind of make that connection, hey, we're your agency. Thanks a lot. Hope you found this interesting. Take care. Bye.